massive difference with an independent studio. However, like I said, I want to phase on people that want to start a studio or have a studio right now. Discipline is key. So if you go all around and you let people do whatever they want, it's going to be a mess. Believe me.
I mean, so was the rest of your team, were they all on coming from Ubisoft as well, or did some of those come from small studios?
No, a lot of us are AAA people. So we're coming from Ubisoft. Some of them come from other studio in Quebec, but mainly we work on all big studios before.
So how did you? Because this is, I mean, this is interesting, like you said, and I know I've worked for small companies, I've worked with big companies, and
Yeah,
I'm very much a small company guy. I like being able to see an opportunity, you know, pivot on it, do it. But you're right, when you're at somewhere like Ubisoft or publicly traded companies or whatever, there's a lot more layers you have to go through.
yeah,
How
yeah.
did you how did you break everyone's mentality around that and kind of give them the freedom they needed to do it? And then how did you keep that in check so you're not, like you said, it can be dangerous. How do you keep it all in check?
Yes. Um, I first of all, I think I would say recruiting because for me, recruiting. It's more HR terms. I mean, we got to say recruiting. So it's your recruiting process need to be in depth. You need to. It's more like a discussion than an interview. So you can. It's hard to say because it's inside of you. You can feel someone. You can feel it. You can feel someone. How you have many questions you can ask to feel someone, but it's a trap, to be honest, because you're right about that too. Because humbly, when we were 70 before the massive layoff in 2023, we hire people that were taught that they will fit in the smaller studio coming, and they were coming from a big studio, and it didn't work. So it's a try and error, I would say, at some point. But now with the experience that we have right now, me and my business partner Sebastien, is more like we go in depth about what question you can ask, and the feeling between the two person, and also what those people did before, what they were in the machine or not. Because I think the challenge we have right now in this industry, and this is my personal opinion, is people have amazing resume. You can see the resume, say, oh my God, and when you go in depth, finally, this person never touched the engine, never be involved directly in production, oversee management. That's all the thing. That's another part also in big studio. Again, I respect everyone in terms of position, but a lot of people are more manager, so they don't touch anything. They're not involved anymore directly in production, that's our one of our value is we all involved. We all touching the engine. We all involved. So you have those, I would say, technical question in a way that when is the last time you touched Unreal 5? What you did recently on Unreal 5? So you can understand that this person it's hands-on. We're not looking for a manager. We're looking for people hands-on. Like on myself, I do around 6 positions, I guess, So that's the kind of angle you have to go when you talk with people. But I agree with you. Sometimes it can go good, sometimes it can go bad. But I think you need to learn. You learn from it, and you move on. And the next hire, you know what to do to find the right person.
All right, so with the game coming out, and
Mhm.
I've got a cold, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name because I will probably screw it up. But are you looking for a publisher or are you self-publishing?
Right now, we are self-published, entirely self-published. So we do our home publishing. We you and publishing it's obviously a challenge for everyone. So you need to be organic. For us, we're super close from a community on Steam. We are working on a couple of things that I cannot say right now, but some marketing activation with some major hardware companies. So it's a nonstop, man. It's a nonstop, work. The thing is, the thing you cannot do is be lazy. That's the first. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. every day, and I start working at 6:30 because I do my gym before. That's another thing. Also, discipline. for you, for a person, for me, I think it's super important. So you have a lot of discipline before to be ready. It's like a basketball game. You got to be ready. So right now we're self-publishing, and it's a constant community management from me, my business partner, and also my team. We put our team involved. That's another thing also as a small studio. And I'm going to go back to your question before, how you maintain people close to you and they know you know what they do. It's, again, communication is key. I meet everyone every week. Once a week I meet everyone. Sometimes it's 30 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes. Everyone, every individual, we talk each other every week, so to keep the production on the good side. Did I answer your question?
No, yeah, I mean it does, because that's one of the big issues that you have is when you're going from a studio the size of, an Ubisoft or whatever, to something small. It's like, if you want to give people the freedom to do what they want to do. It's like I joke around that my management style is hiring smart people I trust and getting the fuck out of their way. That's basically, I'm here to make sure they have everything they need. I'm not here to micromanage them, or I wouldn't have hired them. But yeah, you do. I mean, you have to make sure that you're not giving too much freedom and things go off the rails, in one way or another. So we've actually already got a question coming in from Discord, and I just saw it, so I can't put it up on the screen yet. Nick asks, how can I adapt the lessons of people with long AAA backgrounds to my situation as an unknown indie studio owner from a different background? There you go.
So I understand this question clearly. Is for me, I think, again, that's my opinion. Don't judge me for this, but ego could be a big thing. Ego. You have to analyze on the AAA side. Sometimes ego is a big challenge. So you have to avoid toxicity in terms of the superstar trauma kind of thing. It's a good question, because we have so many tries and errors on our side, and now we know what we have to do to find the right person. But I think the key point is ego, the superstar syndrome. Like I said, the good question is also, you have to ask this individual if he's ready to go the full on board things inside the production. So, because a lot of them, respectfully, they want to be manager now. They want to be involved anymore in this crazy life of independent studio, because it is crazy. Let's be honest. It's crazy. Every day new things arrive, fires everywhere. You like a firefighter, and so it's all about you have to also ask that question to this individual, and you tell him the truth about how it's going to be. So, and you have to trust at some point the person that it will do it. He will do what he have to do. But it's a tricky thing, because, again, ego, AAA, sometime coming up, that's challenging. Ends on, you need to be ends, because I got a lot of people that I interviewed before, and I respect that. They said, look, I'm sorry, I've been in this business for 20 years. I'm not touching the engine anymore. I love managing. I love forecasting. I love projection stuff. I'm not, and it's awesome. So good. Thank you. It's not going to work. And, pleasure to meet you.
You got one thing right there. No matter what, when you're running a small company, every day is something different. So, wake up, look at my inbox, and go, what the fuck this is now? Okay, yeah.
Exactly. Before opening my Outlook, I take 30 seconds, just focus, and boom, nuclear coming up. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's
oh my God.
Maybe I just need to meditate before I get out of bed. Look at my phone. Maybe that's what I'm missing out every morning. So we've got a couple of questions coming in on the self-publishing side. So I want to ask, before we even get to that, why did you opt to go self-publishing versus looking for a publisher?
I think self-publish. Man, that's a good question. I'm biting my thumbs a little bit. My lips. It's just I in a way, if a good publisher deal can arrive down the line, we might look at it, we might say, why not? Let's do it, but uh, I think it's about the money wise, the situation about, having splitting revenue between publisher and the studio. But again, it's nothing wrong about the publisher, because we're still open up, this opportunity if something come up. And having a self-published title, it's a major learning curve as developers. And we start this in January, I think, something like that. So it's a big learning curve. And you go literally to school. You school up yourself to start publishing games. So it's a pretty awesome skill.
Okay, then. So we've got that established. Now, along those lines, here's a couple of questions that have come in. Is it important to include a social media content manager early in development?
We don't. It's all us. So I'm you see it right now. It's me, that guy. That's, and all my employees, all my staff, and my business partner. We are the social manager, because that's a good question though. Because I think what can be appealing for the player, and we realize that pretty early on, is it's a huge difference talking on with your community with a social manager that never make the game, compare to my staff and my business partner that make the game and answer question. So it's a connection you create with the player. You talk to the developer. You're not talking from a layer to layer of social media manager or community manager. You're talking to us directly. Like to be a funny, because the awesome thing is, we had a feature that we were super lucky and blessed. We had a feature in IGN, and it's explode with IGN. And we start having reviews on YouTube on influencers. And it's awesome. I watched one an influencer, and actually asked question about the game, and I answered it right away. I comment on it and say, no, yeah, this is coming. And you know what I mean? It's just awesome that you had strip comment and you talking to the people that making the game directly. So it's such a unique feeling of connecting directly with the people that they play, or they're going to play your game.
But that's a double-edged sword, because once the players have a direct access to you, do you not get a lot of the less savory comments and people that are out there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we had some people that bashing us, but it's a good question, Jay. You have to disconnect yourself emotionally from the situation. It's undeniable. It's people are gonna love your game, people are gonna hate your game. You cannot have both. You cannot have everything will love your game. So you just have to accept it. And it is, a lot of people don't love certain genre, or you got trolled. We see this right now everywhere in social media. People love bashing other people, no matter what. No matter what you make the best game or the best product in the world, somebody is gonna find something to troll or bash you about something. So you have to detach yourself emotionally from the comments, and especially when a lot of comments are more likely positive. So you have to detach your emotion from it and just accept it. And it's okay. If some people don't love our game, it is what it is. I'm not going to go fight with him or street fight with this person because he don't love the game. It's fine. You have an opinion. It's okay.
You have a wonderful outlook on that. I mean, honestly, because I see a lot of teams and they get, wrapped up in, the arguments back and forth, or, they don't like it. What are we going to do? Having that mentality of, look, I'm the one making the game. This is what we want to do. If you don't like it, don't buy it. That's basically what it boils down to.
And I think as a human, ego is a big problem for everyone. People that saying that to me that they don't have ego, they have. Ego, it's a part of it. So you have to check your ego sometime and say, you know what, it's fine, it's okay, it's all good. You don't like it, you don't like it. What can I do? I'm not going to change your mind. It's fine.
So on the development route, why did you all choose to go early access? What were the pros and cons of doing that versus not doing it?
Yeah. Okay. Early access for small developer is revenue, obviously, because video game, it's awesome. I play video games since the 80s. I play as today, I still play video game. I have a passion for video game, but no matter what, it's a business. You have also to detach yourself from whatever video game company, a printer company, a headphone company. You have to put your head in that direction. It's a business. So kicking revenue early on, it's extremely beneficial. And also I got a lot of friends that have studios and they have great experience in early access. So, and also the great thing in early access, which is awesome beside the business, is you get feedback from the community right away, which is awesome because you can balance your game with the response of the community, so you can adapt. Because that's another thing also. When you make a game, you are in your bubble, and you think your game will be this direction or that direction. It's going to be awesome. But some people are going to come with you and say, hey, by the way, we love the weapon, but we don't have knife, or we love the city, or we love the car. And when you have constructive comment beside the trolling comment, it's super interesting because you can modify your game down the line for your, I would say, consumer, if I talk business term, for your consumer. So you adapt with the early access with the right market before releasing 1.0. So you have two upside: financial, community response.
How long do you expect to stay in early access?
I would say around a year, less than a year, just to see how it goes. The feedback of the community. Yeah, around a year, less than a year ish.
So, Gaming Zone from YouTube, which platform do you think is best for marketing on social media in the current environment?
I'm lucky. I have a massive, on my side, I have a LinkedIn. It's big for me because I got a lot of people on LinkedIn. X/Twitter. I realized something on X is the community is very involved on X. People respond back and forth. So X, we're starting a Reddit page soon. We also want to do a Discord channel. So that's what we want to do. But X for me was for us was very beneficial in terms of back and forth and comments, reposts, and linking. And now next phase for us, and that's another thing also I have to say, our strategy was also to not deploy everything at the same time. You go by phase, so it's momentum. You're not. This is the view that we had. It's just like you bring a momentum, so you don't spread out the same day. We start with X. LinkedIn was obvious for us, so because of our all the people we know on LinkedIn, X was also a good strategy to start with. We have Facebook also. So you gradually had people, because this is another good part that in terms of self-publish, if you go too quick, too fast, you're going to lose control. So you have 6 platforms to manage. It's going to be crazy. So we are going very momentum by momentum to add a new social media platform. And also is when you develop one platform for, like example, X, you can drive your community to the next platform and the next platform. So you switch like this and you bounce around. And also Steam Community Hub is great. Actually our strongest community in terms of back and forth and comment is Steam.
Well, I mean, that's where your customers are anyway. But I think that is a problem. A lot of folks focus too much on social media and don't realize that there's a good, tool system right there in the Steam community as well.
Yeah, it's the biggest one for us. We have comments every day. We have likes. Every time we post something, we have feedback.
So Allison asks, as a smaller studio and team, how do you provide mentorship for more junior team members, or can you even afford to hire those people given the resources that it can cost to support them?
Let me read the question. Or can you even afford to hire people giving the resources can support them? Oh, it's I will go with the first question. Junior team. You know, I think it's come from a leader perspective. So you have to approach a junior developer differently from a senior developer. So mentorship, motivation. If every day as at a studio or manager you like this and you seem that you don't care, obviously it's going to reflect on people. So as a leader, studio manager, whatever you name it, you have to show the example to be always there. Whatever happened in your personal life, you don't have to show up with that. You have to be there for them and manage them more efficiently and keep them motivating. And also something I learned in the past: it's okay if you make a mistake. It's okay. We're gonna fix it together. So a lot of junior to empower a junior is to give them this freedom to say, hey, by the way, try something. It's okay. We're gonna fix it. Don't worry about it. Try it. So it's not a baby. It's an adult. It's not a teenager. It's an adult. So you have to empower them with freedom and say, you know what? And honestly, on my experience, and we realized, me and my business partner, is if you empower the right junior, you can be extremely surprised how he can bring on the table because he's hungry and he want to make his mark. So if you empower them the right way, it can be a game changer with this person. Because a lot of our member of our team right now, some of them didn't ship any game. A couple of them are their first job in the video game industry, and they are amazing, amazing machine. They are amazing, and sometimes more amazing than a super senior guy that had been in business for 15, 20 years, because they want to learn. They so happy to be there. So you have to show them that you're happy that they are there. What was the other question?
No, I think you got it.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, good.
So I mean, the next one comes from Discord. I work in Construct 3. My partner works in Unity. What can we do to find common ground or to transition to one or the other smoothly? And I guess in the underlying question there is there, is there one or the other that you would recommend?
Yeah, for me, I will go on Unity, for the accessibility and everything. It's a good question because it's it's all depend about the direction also you want to take with your game. But for me, Unity, it's the simple way to do it. So I guess your partner should start transitioning to Unity at some point. That's my personal opinion.
So from my side as well, you're got a much better chance of getting support down the road in Unity.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
you
of
don't
course.
see a lot of professionally published games in Construct. So
Yeah.
do what you can. Move to Unity. All right. Along those lines, so obviously the industry is in, I don't know, what do we want to call it?
Oh
Turmoil,
yeah.
clusterfuck. I mean, something. What if you're looking to start a studio right now? What are the things that you should not do?
Uh, Hire a lot of people. That's the first thing. Find the right people. And yes, the industry right now is, in my all those years, I never saw that before. You know, and I think a lot of people, as an example, you want to start a studio today, don't listen to people that say, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. If you believe in your project, you think this project is going to work, and you have the passion, do it. And I mean, in every type of market in the world. Every time, don't listen to negativity. You got this all the time. Oh, our family members, whatever. Oh my God, what a bad decision. As an example, when I left Ubisoft, a lot of people at Ubisoft told me it was the worst mistake in my life. They literally said, you're going to lose everything. And here I am today, was almost 27 years, 25 years later when I left. No, more than that, 20 years later. So don't listen to people that said it's not possible. It's impossible. It is possible. What you should do is your pitch deck need to be spot on, need to be perfect. And also, especially in this time, you have to be lean on the budget and find different solutions to make the game financially. So a publisher, a VC, a personal investor, whatever, you have to also have your finance straight. So you cannot just pitch a game and if the VC or the publisher, how much is going to cost? I don't know, 2-5 million. That's the wrong answer. You have to have exactly the number by dollar. You need to fix your P&L. It need to be perfect. So money and a lean deck that explain everything, the loop, the game loop, everything by detail. So because again, I got a lot of friends that come up to me sometimes asking me, they show me their decks and they have like 4-page, So, where's the finance part? What's the strategy part? Do you have any possible target in recruiting? But that's another challenge also, because it's cool to have a deck. It's cool to have a P&L, but what's your plan? What's your recruiting plan? So you need before even making the studio, you have to already align in your head who potentially going to come to your studio. So you have already some potential people and confirmed people. So this is also a key. So it's a full package, basically. A plan, vision, long term. That's another part. You cannot make a game and say, okay, this is the game, and what's next? Oh, I don't know. We'll figure it out. No, you cannot. You cannot say we'll figure it out. Because you have to know where you're going.
I mean, I started my first company. Now, granted, that one lasted 3 years before it, fell through. But I started it in 2008, in like the worst, recession that we've had in a century. And yeah, I mean, it was the same thing. But I mean, let's also be honest. Our family that isn't in the industry always tells us not to do this shit in the industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not necessarily just a once in a while thing. They always tell us not to do this. That it's a stupid idea. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm here 30 years later, still running on this stupid idea that I had years ago. There was another question coming in there, and I completely. Oh yeah, here we go. So on the subject of LinkedIn,
yeah,
because Nick's right. It doesn't come up that often when people are talking about, promoting their game.
Yeah.
How do you go about it, or do you have any tips for promoting your project versus like yourself or your company, but your project on LinkedIn?
What do I do? LinkedIn, it's an animal in itself, because now it's becoming more Facebook than business, because I started LinkedIn when it started, So, your personal life in LinkedIn, it's not the place to be there, So my LinkedIn for me, it's always connected to the game industries. So I don't talk about my dog on LinkedIn, that's the first part. If your profile look like a serious person that is there for business, you can have more traction than putting any political comment or personal life in your LinkedIn. So for me, first advice is personal life is not LinkedIn. So put in your LinkedIn on talking about games, industries. This is as your profile LinkedIn for your game now. I think it's keep posting, but not over posting. That's also a key. Posting every day, in my opinion, it's not a good idea. You posting in the right timing, right time, and you do it organically. It's not a speech or an AI ChatGPT thing. It's, hey, I got a new patch. I look at my game. What do you think, guys? It's very like more organic. And for me again, I think I want to emphasize on the fact that you need to build your street credit on LinkedIn, coming to no personal things, professional stuff. So you're gonna have credibility from LinkedIn, one, and don't post every day. Post in good timing, special announcement or something new coming in your game.
So along those same lines, good question just came in from Greed Walker on Discord. Let's say I want to start an indie studio as a one-person team with several games done, so they know the ropes. What do you recommend first, finding a publisher or finding more people for your team?
Finding more people for your team, because 100%, unfortunately, no publisher is going to sign you if you're alone, because they want to know who's behind you, and you need to cover all the aspect of the studios. So finding more people, and even if you don't have the money right now, you can find people that they are passionate and they're gonna not work for free, but they're gonna technically work for free, but they're gonna get involved. You give them share of the company. Say, by the way, I think the 4 pillar for me is production, business, art, design, tech. That's the 4 pillar, aka core team. So if you can find, if this gentleman or this woman is a creative director, you need to find the other 3. And the other 3 came up to, they still may be working right now, and you know them a little bit, and you say, dude, you want to join me? We can do weekends, night, and start. And you already have 4 people, which is the core team. And those core team also need to be 360. So my business partner, Sebastian, which is the art director, he's doing everything. He can do 3D model, can do UI, he can do AI, he can do UI, he can do everything. So the same thing with when we start, our tech director was programming, architectures, and everything. So you need to have the jack of all trade from the 4 position. And the position is sometimes less considerate, and it's the production part, business part, which is my position right now, because that's the person that's going to talk with publisher, understand the business, can refine a deck, artistic deck, coming up more as a business deck. How are you going to market that deck that is going to be appealing? Because again, I'm sorry, but the reality again of publisher VC, it's all about money. And it's sad to say, but and it's okay and I can understand on their side, because they want to recoup money. They want to know, dude, I'm gonna make money from this. So you have to show them that you're gonna make money with this. So having those core pillar, which is like a seal, okay, they cover all the field. They can do everything. That's cool. That's it. So okay, that's good. They have a financial plan, very well made. They know where to go. They are aware it's a risk, but you need to minimize the risk for any kind of investor or people that bringing money in, especially in this time.
And shameless plug here, if you're having issues with your pitch deck, just keep in mind, every 2 weeks we do live pitch deck reviews on the Discord. Once a month, Omar and I do one live on YouTube. And now we've actually got a paid tier for folks who want one-on-one time with Omar to go through and very deep feedback on your pitch deck. So IndieGameBusiness has got resources for you. That's just something good to know. Shout out to our chat, because they're killing it with the questions today. Here's another good one. Oh wait, that's the one I just did. Yeah. There was another one down there. But I mean, along the lines of not having the people, it's also perfectly fine in a pitch deck to say, I'm the only one here now, but here are the people that I plan to bring in.
Exactly.
Just put their names. And
exactly.
Everybody understands that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So from Rebel Meat on Discord, what was your best resource on learning how to understand and create a financial plan and budget for your pitch?
Yes. For me, I was lucky because I went to business school, administration. So I have a base, but you don't need necessarily this right now. You have so many resources online, even ChatGPT now can give you. You don't follow ChatGPT, but at least if you customize a good custom ChatGPT, it can give you a base about the basic stuff that you need. But please don't copy paste that. It's just to have an idea about, okay, I need projection, I need more monthly costs, I need this, and it can give you a visual of a P&L, and you start from that. And you have so many business resources online right now, so you can learn by yourself. That's true, because I'm still learning as today, because my philosophy for me is, if you know everything, you're fucked. Sorry, you're fucked. So you have to take every day you wake up. I don't know nothing, and I want to learn today. So that's my mentality. What I'm going to learn today. So every day I inform myself. I go to business site. I check different ways. More in game industry business. You analyze also some company. You go on public company, their financial statement every 3 months or 5 months. So you analyze that. You learn from that. And the good news now with the AI, you can take the deck, you can take the PDF, drop it there, and you can break down more friendly way to understand everything. So we're lucky now to have those technology, but those technology like AI can be a very tricky one if you just go with it. It's just, for me, AI is a place where I can have an idea. That's cool, and I'm doing it by myself.
Look at you cheating, going to business school, and the rest of us having to learn this all the hard way. That's
It's been 30 years ago. I don't remember anything.
Well, that was like my extent of my business school was one econ class in college, and I'm pretty sure I got a D in it. So that didn't really carry over too well. All right, let's say you're one of these studios. You've been working on your game, but the industry is hard right now, and the number of publishers out there versus the number of games being pitched is, I think, one of the latest things I saw from a friend of mine was 0.5% of the games that they get pitched, they actually sign.
Yeah.
If you're running a studio and struggling right now in the industry, what do you recommend to do to stay afloat, to stay going, to stay alive? What can you do right now?
Yeah, it's a good question. Financially, you have to stay lean, so evaluate. Depending about our size, it's a good question, because it's tough. I understand. We live it. Everybody live it. If you are United States, you have a good business plan, SBA loan. You can go to different ways to find funding, at least for your minimum cash flow survival. Also, sometimes you have to do on the unfortunate decision to let go some people and do it yourself. So it's hard. It's difficult. I feel people in that situation 1,000%. But you cannot let go. You cannot abandon. You have to every day, like you said before, Jay. It's like a war zone every day. How I'm gonna fix this today? How I'm gonna fix that? Don't get discouraged. If you're on the red, you're on the red. You need to think, okay, how can I find a way right now? I might have potential publisher coming in XYZ weeks. How can I make it happen? What can I do? It's a difficult situation. As I said, I feel that. It's stay positive and let's go. Never stop. Right now myself, I'm working around 7 hours a week. And in the weekend I think about it. So you never have to let go. Always focus. Your distraction about, go party, drinking, you have to maybe forget that. I stopped drinking years ago because I want to focus on my business. So you have to compromise a lot of personal life. Actually, at some point, sometime you don't have a personal life for a while. Your business studio should be your main focus. So that's the only advice. The advices I can say is just, I understand it's difficult. I get it 100%.
So we've got a couple of them that are on the same wavelength here. So we'll start with this one, and we're just going to do it in pieces. So first off, what was the biggest hurdle that you had to overcome in this process, and how did you overcome that?
Lay off 60 people.
Yeah, I mean, but
that's the biggest one, because my philosophy as a manager, lead, whatever you name it, I don't feel titled. That for me is just I'm a human being talking with other people. Is you have a connection with a lot of people. You develop a relationship with them, and you have to lay off a lot of people. That is the I think it's the darkest place that I was in my lifetime in this industry. It's let go people that they know they did a good job, and you don't have any choice to do it. That's terrible. That's the terrible part. How can you survive that? It's just, again, you got to keep your head up and move on and follow, I would say, the dream, the project, the vision. And if you detach your emotion a little bit and you compare, you're not the first one on the block that did that before. It's happened. It's be a business. It's be an entrepreneur. It's be a studio owner. It's a part of the game. Every business, video game, like, car company, as an example, they go to deep problems, deep financial things, and you have to make those decisions. And inside of you, it's hurt. It's terrible. But if you follow the negativity and say, "Oh my God, that's it. It's over. I'm done," you have to wake up, say, "You know what? It is what it is. I have to keep moving on." And also, you have to be loyal for the people that's still there. We still have 9 people with us right now. So what I'm going to do? Stay negative every day and come back that we have to let go 60 people and live with this forever and have resentment? You can't. You have to stay your heads up and go. And it's unfortunate, but it's a part of a business cycle. And, I invite you to read business entrepreneur biography, read about it. A lot of company that sometimes we think they're biggest in the world right now, they went to so many turmoil and disaster situation, and they are very successful today because they move on and put the emotional and ego aside and said it's an unavoidable decision, and we have to take it for the future of our present employees, and we're going to make it happen. That's the advice I can give.
I've been there. I've had to do it.
Yeah.
It's not fun. I mean, it
Not
absolutely.
fun.
And then you feel guilty because it's like, okay, I'm in charge. I'm the one leading the ship, and
Yeah.
it wears on you because you're like, okay, this is my fault. This is
Yeah, exactly. You have a retrospection on yourself. Did I do something wrong? What's going on? It's me. But you can't. You have to move on. It is what it is. You have no choice. It's you shut down everything or you keep the minimum to stay afloat and alive and make that game. Because for us, our vision is, yes, it's a business. Yes, it's a studio, but we love our game. We want to make that game arrive to the end of the race. So you also have that focus in mind is, I want to finish that game. I want to make that game, and I have to take that decision to finish that game, because if I don't do this, I'm not going to have the game.
so leading up to that, to the layoffs. Was it something that you saw coming and you were able to identify and try to prevent, or was it one of those things where it was just out of the blue, something fell through and you had to adjust and make that decision last minute?
Yeah, it's public. It's on. If you're gonna see it. It came a little bit out of the blue, but we felt it at some point. But I think that in 2023, it was November, I think, it's exploded from everywhere. Suddenly everybody was closing down studios nonstop. So it came a little bit out of the blue, to be honest. You're investor, you think it's going to be fine, but it's happened. And again, I will be a bit contradictory on this part. Is people say, "Oh my God, what a bad publisher, what a bad investor, why did that, is that. You cannot do that. You don't know his reality. You don't know what happened. Your reality of your financial, I would say, crisis, they also have the same financial crashes in a way most of the time. So you have to understand that it's on their side also, it's difficult, and they didn't do this because they don't like you and they don't care. It's happened. So it's more to answer a short question. Your short answer, it was out of the blue. It took, I would say, 48 hours to spin off and say, okay, what's going on, and a lot of back and forth. And at some point you have to take the decision and make it.
I mean, that's the way. I mean, running a consulting firm in many ways is even less stable than a developer. You get a deal, you could be financed for a year. We're in a consulting firm. A good quarter is like, we've got 3 months of money. Let's go and
I've been
keep
there.
going. Yes.
I've been consulting companies. I've been there. Your cash flow is, you have a month, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be a millionaire. The month after, you say, okay,
I have no money, none.
It's no money anymore. No, it's a roller coaster, the consulting business. Yeah, it's crazy.
So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, this you might have already covered this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Aside from, I mean, there's very little you can do when you have a deal in place and investor publisher funding falls through. But are there other mistakes that you've learned from over the years? What are some of the big ones that you came across when you're working to build your studio or create it?
Can you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, so basically, they're asking on Discord. What are the mistakes that you learned?
Oh, this question. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. Sometimes you start up with some people, aka friends, and you think they are your friends, and you realize pretty quickly they're not. So starting a studio with family relative, best buddies, this is something that I learned. It's just, you have to be careful with, because human is human. You can be starting your studio with your best friend, your brother, whatever. But when money get involved in this, thing can get very sour pretty quick. So be careful about your close people around you, who is with you, and if this person is there for the right purpose. Because I told you, I start consulting company. I start a lot of business in my life, and I learn about that kind of situation of your best friend joining, and before starting with him, it was amazing, everything is good, and suddenly money get involved, totally a different individual, completely. So you have to be careful about your people around you that you start the studio with. That's my answer.
Sorry, I was typing and I had to mute because I have one of those loud ass clickety keyboards. This is something that I see with a lot of teams, and it's why you always have to have an agreement. And even when you have an agreement in place, sometimes it doesn't work out. But there's too many teams that I see that they're all friends. They'll start a studio together, and then when shit starts going south, they never did any sort of agreement between the three of them or four of them or however many. And you don't, I mean, someone told me a long time ago, you don't make contracts for the good times. You make these for the bad times. And so
that's the perfect answer. Yeah, that's the perfect answer.
So, I mean, even if you have a contract, your friendships can still, family can still go sideways, but, at least be prepared for it.
Yeah.
All right, let me catch up on my questions here. Here we go. How does an indie studio of moderate size decide upon whom to hire full-time or part-time, and what should be outsourced? What are the main factors affecting that strategy?
You have to, first of all, you have to have a proper scope. It's a good question. You have to have a proper scope. So from A to Z, in terms of starting date, release date, you have to scope what do you need. And that's another thing that is super important. I have the tendency in the past, but I learned from that is you think the future, okay, I'm going to scope it like I would say 3 years production. Year three, I know exactly, not exactly what I need, but that's going to be the ballpark. And sometimes it can be a mistake in terms of you have to know exactly what you need from A to Z in terms of staff. Outsource. You see, outsource it, again. This is dependent on your scope, so you're going to see like, as an example, you need, I would say, to start the company, you need 4 animators or 5 animators, but down the line the animation go down. So do you really need 5 animators right now? Because at some point some of animators are going to have less work to do. So it's an orchestra of balance, and you need to align all the department in a way that you understand down the line what you're going to need more and less. For me right now, audio, it can be outsourced. Obviously, don't don't get me wrong. Outsourced is more expensive. That's a fact. But you have to compare full time, long term, outsource, short term. And the hedge with the outsource is, and I always say that, is an outsource don't get sick, don't get family days, don't get vacation in a way that the outsource company is going to work full time on your stuff, so you're going to save time at some point. So you have to outsource the right things in the right timing of your scope. Or if you think that you're going to need, we go back to the animator example. Your game is full of cutscene, animation, cinematic. You focus on your animation part, and you said I need 5 people. I need 5 people. So it's always finding a way that you're 100% sure that your every individual will be full-time job every week. Mocap,
Right.
also mocap outsource. And now you have so many technology. Actually, I was at GDC last week. We saw the mocap suit. It's amazing. It's a couple $1,000s, and now you can do amazing mocap in your home. Basically, you can mocap and animate in your home. It's bananas. It exists for a long time, but now they're updating the software, and it's getting much and much better. So you need to be wise in your decision, about what to outsource or not, and when you can do on your own without spending extra money.
All right, so I was going to wrap it up, but then we had one more question come in. That's a really good question, and I want to get answered. And then we're going to let you plug the game to get some wish lists and all that other stuff, and tell you how thankful we are for you coming on and doing this. But before,
Awesome.
Last question. I know
Yep.
a lot of indie devs wear a lot of different hats on projects. At what point do you hand a role off to someone else so you can focus on the single areas of your game?
Oh yeah. Someone else, you can focus on the single area of your game. Yeah, it's a mentality thing. I think it's just about organization and structure. I know you touch everything, but it's all about if this person, if you're the leader or the head of the studio, if you are in that boat to the direction, you need to know where this direction goes. So you have to be the person to see the big pictures and see where the direction goes. So if the boat leaning to the left, you have to realign to the center. And it's a tricky thing because yes, a lot of, even myself, I can catch up sometime about trying many things at the same times and getting that focus. And having also those, we have our team sync. So every week we have everyone of every department sync together at the same time, and we analyze about, okay, as an example, the art is good, but we have maybe to make the art better. So we're going to focus on that part. So the synchrony about everyone talking together at the same place at the same time will help you to know exactly, to not spread out everywhere and say, okay, we have the combat system right now is not the way we want it. So, okay, let's put more effort on that direction. So if some of your staff have those skills, you have to bring it up together, meeting up, and focus on that direction. Again, you start, and you have to know the direction and bring your staff, your team to that direction. And down the line, if you have some weakness in certain part of your game, having a team sync meeting, it gives you the chance to align everyone to make this happen and fix it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so tell us the game again, where they can go to wish list it. We'll pop the link up there as well.
Lovely. So Directorate Innoviate, early access 2025 on Steam. Tap Directorate on the search. You're going to see us right away. Please add a wish list. Add on your wish list. It would be awesome. I really appreciate it. Let's help each other. That's the way I see it. That's another thing. Indie developers out there, don't hesitate to talk with other indie developers. Talk. I was at the GDC. I got an indie studio with my friend. We're gonna have a meeting this week. We're gonna help each other. It's a big market. It's not a competition. It's a big market. You guys can help each other. Can have a group of people working together and make it happen. It's not a fight. It's not a war. We all together. We have to make it happen together. The market is big. I buy 5-6 games every month. It's okay. I can buy an RPG. It's fine. They're not gonna steal customer from you. Work together. Talk. Create group chat with other studios and talk with people. That's the way.
I could not agree more.
Mm-hmm.
I get people that are like, who's your competitors? I was like, honestly, I'm not being arrogant.
I don't
think I have any because there's so much opportunity out there that we work together. So
yeah. And as an example, just to complete, because people say, okay, but I have an RPG game. My friend is on RPG. He's got my friend studio. I've also an RPG. So what? RPG player is gonna buy 4, 5, 6 games. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna play both games. Sometimes I play a game for 2 hours. I'm gonna switch to another game for 2 hours. It's okay. They're not gonna steal you customer player. Don't worry about it. Talk with people.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Dan?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for coming on, Frederick. Yeah, if you've got 10 peoples with the same kind of genres, 10 devs, just come together as a conglomerate and use all those resources and push it all together. Who cares? It's great. It helps each other out.
It's $1 billion market. Don't worry. You're going to have your money. It's okay. It's $1 billion market.
That's right. And you'll have 9 other awesome games to play. So
don't worry. None of us are making money. It's okay.
It's okay. It's fine.
Thank you so much for coming on here, everyone.
It was a pleasure, guys.
It was join our Discord, discord.gg/IndieGameBusiness. It's actually scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Also, see all of our things at IndieGameBusiness.com. We don't have a stream tomorrow, so we will see you next Friday, I believe. Yeah, next Friday.
I just work here. I don't know anymore. I just show up and they're like, we have a podcast today. I'm like, okay, good. All right.
Okay, here I go. Now I can go back to bed. Okay.
All right, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Frederick. And hit us up on Discord if you have any questions.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.